Alright guys, I haven't done a stream in a while, but just kind of been studying a lot lately and thought I'd make it a little more interesting by live streaming it today. So I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I might just live stream this for just part of it. I might not live stream the whole thing, but I mean I'm probably just going to be back testing a lot today and doing higher time frame analysis. I don't know, just having a chill live session. Honestly, I'm not really looking to do anything in specific other than just chill and vibe and check out some charts. So, and just get better, just keep getting better at trading. So with that, I'm gonna copy this. So I just finished this. I'm going top down. I do think most likely this is a sell model. I mean, it's a giant SMT, and we got a weekly change of state delivery, and now that we got that weekly change of state delivery, here you can see that on the screen. We got that weekly change of state delivery. I'm thinking at least the candle bodies here would be a target, but we will have to see. So I'm gonna screenshot this, and then I'm gonna put this in my journal for today. But yeah, this is kind of like, not only is it a sell model here, but it's also a 2022 model, because we got this fair value gap that formed after we got this break of structure. You can see how that fair value gap formed right there, and then boom, tap that fair value gap, instantaneous dump to this low resistance liquidity here. Boom. So let's screenshot this. And then we might even check out Bitcoin a little bit too, just for fun, just to have some fun. So let's save this. Okay, now let's go put this in here. Daily. I'm gonna show what I'm typing. So since I see the weekly being in a sell model, I could see the daily, us being on the sell side of the curve of the daily. Let's get out the chat. I don't know if anyone's even gonna show up, but it's still pretty chill just to have this live stream even if no one's watching. So yeah, so no one's watching. I mean, it's 3:30 p.m. on a Friday, so wouldn't really expect anyone to be watching. So to see us being on the sell side of the curve of this. Let's get chat pulled up. Make sure it's pulled up right. Okay, got it. Like I was saying, if this is a weekly sell model, possibly, then the daily could be on the sell side of the curve here. And we're gonna be back testing a ton of setups. Like, I'm thinking, like, I might be here for like hours. Not necessarily on stream. I might end the stream, but I'm probably gonna be back testing for like, I don't know, until I finish back testing like every single possible setup in the past like week or two. I'm gonna be here for a while. Because I don't know. You either kind of just have to make things happen or they won't. So. This is just I don't know, just a vibe. Plus, I enjoy it. I enjoy backtesting, so I'm gonna be here quite a while, but that's okay. And maybe I'll live stream the whole thing. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But dude, I mean, it's gotta happen. We gotta, like, I gotta become the trader I want to become. Otherwise, it's never gonna happen. So, like I said, I think that we are on possibly the sell side of the curve here. So now we'll jump down into the lower time frame here. Let's just double check everything on the higher time frames. Okay. Okay. What should we look at next? I lost my train of thought from earlier, but that's okay. We're moving on. Something I have not ever talked about before, but I've been recently starting to look at a lot. And I learned about it from this guy named Aircam. He's pretty cool. Go subscribe to him. But it's just like gold block levels, and people claim this is like ICT's Enigma. It might be. But essentially, it's like it's helpful for determining like where the sell models form and where the buy models form and stuff. So like if I see us come up, for instance, on this red line here, and this is the high of the dealing range, and we start to form like a sell model on the top of the high, that's gonna tell me, okay, it's a higher conviction spot, because these are like mathematical like levels. So anyway, I think it's cool. But I wanted to check that. The reason I was talking about that is I wanted to check that to see if we have anything lined up here. So let's go down the 4 hour. Yeah, so we really might just cut right through. You can see this 4 to 4.5 is the low of the dealing range here. So we might actually just cut right through. But yeah, we closed below this daily breaker here, which that's on its own like a short setup for me, because we're delivering from this fair value gap. Oh, we got 3 people watching. Let's go. So like I was saying, guys, I'm just hanging out, chilling. I'm gonna be journaling, backtesting for a while, just because I really want to get better, and if I don't do something, nothing's ever gonna happen. You know, I'm never gonna become the trader I want to be, and so sometimes you just kind of have to make things happen. You know, like I don't care how long it takes. I'm gonna probably backtest this whole entire week. Honestly, I'm gonna try and backtest all the different setups from this entire week. So anyway, yeah, just hanging out, just chilling. So let's jump down to the 4 hour now and kind of figure out what's going on. Let's get rid of this. So the most obvious thing on the 4 hour is that we had this weekly fair value gap, and the weekly's aligned with the 4 hour. So I'm gonna change the color of this here. The weekly's aligned with the 4 hour. So we got a 4 hour changes to the delivery there. Right. So let's get rid of everything else because it's kind of cluttered. So we have this weekly fair value gap. We sweep out this high here. I'd consider that like external liquidity. Actually, you know what? This is more obvious. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay. So this is like your external sweep. Here's your internal sweep, right? And now we have this weekly fair value gap. We ended up getting this 4 hour change state of delivery. And so you can see how we retest this here almost instantly after we get it. And this is a sniper entry for flow state, right? 4 hour change state delivery off of a weekly level. That's your flow state entry, right? So 4 hour CASD here. And then, yeah. From there, we push back into it. I like to either put my stop, you can put it at the actual high, or sometimes like to do like 2/3 of the way to the high or something like that. And then you could target this new week opening gap here. That would be 2-1. That's probably what I'd do, but you could also target these equal lows, be 4-1, and you could have also targeted, there's an RTH gap here, so overnight gap right here, and that would have been 5.6-1. So boom, pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, essentially this is a lower time frame flow state model, right? So with that in mind, let's draw out our standard deviations of this here. You can see we went right to the 2 to 2.5, right to the 4 to 4.5. It sucks because we don't have anything else to work with. You could draw out more, but I'm not really a big fan of doing that. This is just the most obvious manipulation leg, so like, I don't know what else to draw out. The other thing is, like, I want to for sure be bearish, but also we left an RTH gap here and here. Maybe that doesn't matter, but it actually might not. I don't know. I mean, we also kind of have one there. Anyway, probably measure out premium to discount here. Just go from here to here. You can see we do retest premium. And we also kind of like retest this, which is like a BPR. I think it's most likely that we're delivering lower. I know we have the RTH gap there, but from a higher time frame point of view, the market kind of seems like it's ready to deliver lower. I don't know. This is something where I'm not so sure, but I'll take it. We'll just have to mark something out. Oh, you know what we could do? Yeah. I already did this on the daily, but this one's a good manipulation move, right? This is a solid, like, manipulation move into the weekly gap. And now that we got this daily change in state of delivery here, it's extra nice. So we're gonna mark this out here. And yeah, this is kind of where I think it's drawing to, this 4 to 4.5. Just these equal, like, all these lows are just chilling here together, right? So, okay, back to the 4-hour chart. So with that in mind, let's see what draws on liquidity we have from over here. Oh, I know what we could do. Previous month's low is right here. Oh, and look, we swept out previous week's high too. Okay. Previous month's low here. Man, what else do we look at for the 4-hour? I don't know. Oh wow, there's 4 people watching. What's up, guys? It's just a chill backtesting session. I'll probably be here a while, but I just got a lot of studying to do and thought, well, might as well stream it. I'm starting out with higher time frame analysis, and then I'm gonna go review like a ton of possible trades for the week. So if you wanna study with me, you can definitely stick around for that. But yeah, I think this is good enough for the 4-hour chart. Just to me, it's just like pretty basic sell model with the weekly gap being your key level in premium, right? So I think this one's pretty basic. I mean, also, it's kind of like a 2022 model because we just got that break of structure here. I'd consider this the break of structure. So. So yeah, this fair value gap seems interesting. We'll just have to see. Let's draw this out though. This is just for practice for higher time frame analysis, and we'll get into the lower time frame stuff in just a second, and we'll review all the possible trades. I'm gonna hopefully do this whole week, and then maybe also do last week too. I mean, I'm gonna be here a while, and I really don't care. I want to really study a lot, so it is what it is. Okay. Let's also check this. I think we're good. Oh, let's look at pivots. Yeah, look, we got quite a lot of resistance pivots here. And then like all of these support pivots right around the previous month's low. Interesting. Okay. Anything else we should look at here? Stat map. Yeah, I think we're good on stat map. Yeah, I bet you Monday comes around, we might even create a giant opening gap over the new week and just void down here. Start aggressively moving to previous month's low because it looks like we're definitely starting to displace here. This honestly kind of seems like your 2022 fair value gap here, so something to consider as well. Yeah, I don't know what else even measure out. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and mark this out as possible sell model here. Yeah. I mean, once again, this could be totally wrong, but you know what? It is what it is. Just trying to get better. 4 hour, 28. Put this in intermediate time frame analysis. Save this. Boom. Okay. Call this 4 hour analysis 3-28. Let me know if you guys want me to start streaming trading again. I mean, just so you know, I've been pretty break even lately. Not the best, but also I've been right around just making it barely barely passing. I've gotten like one other payout, but it was because of whatever it's called. Because I had an account that was already above the threshold that got denied earlier, and then finally got accepted. So just kind of like trying to take higher quality trades. I just feel like sometimes I just don't take the highest quality trades, and then other times I do. And that's one of the biggest issues I have. And once I can fix that, I think I'll get some momentum going again. But I'm loving flow state now. Like I'm loving flow state so much. It's way more my style. I know I've been doing inverse or value gaps for so long, but flow state's definitely my style. And I still, if I see a good inverse or value gap, I'll definitely take it. You know, like I know what a good inverse or value gap looks like, but I mean, as far as my style is concerned, flow state's definitely more in my style. I'm thoughtful, I'm analytical. I hate feeling rushed and stressed to make a decision. So it's kind of like going to be my main go-to now, which is, if you don't know what flow state is, it's a higher time frame key level and then lower time frame change state delivery off of that key level after we get a sweep. We need to get some kind of sweep. But like, see, you have a weekly and the time frames are paired. So you have to do, if it's a weekly, it has to be 4 hour. If it's a daily, it has to be hourly, right? Change state delivery. If it's a 4 hour, it has to be, what is it for 4 hour? 15 minute? Yeah, and if it's hourly, it's 5 minute. Anyway, let's save this 4 hour analysis. Sorry, you guys can't even see my screen right now. 4 hour analysis, March 28th. Let's save that. Okay, let's go back to the other screen. So let's jump down to the lower time frame here. So next one down is hourly. So the hourly is interesting because let's get rid of this on the 4 hour now. We don't really need this anymore. We know that weekly gap's there. So the hourly, what daily key levels do we have on the hourly here? It's daily order block. I like to mark order blocks out like this now. I'm realizing marking it out like this is kind of nice. And yeah, I've noticed just like the whole, like if it's like got like a wick like that, marking it out like that can be kind of nice. Anyway, 1 hour chart. The most obvious thing we had was this 4 hour BPR, but that's not a daily key level. But still, so we had this 4 hour BPR. I think that's the most obvious thing here. And you can see we got aggressive movement off of that. And then let's redraw our premium to discount. Like to there, and you can see that this was in premium, so this was a good BPR to use because it was in premium. It was in premium of this, and it was in premium of this, and it was probably in premium of this too. Yeah, you can see how we barely just touched premium. This is something Trader Kane says a lot. He's like, it's just the market's gonna like need to rebalance the premium and discount, and that's kind of how it efficiently delivers. I mean, I'm still trying to understand it more. I'm still working on it, but it's like, it's definitely happening, right? I mean, sometimes it's just like you mark it out and it's like, it's like that. It's too perfect. Like you can't make that up. That was literally right into premium to rebalance it, right? So probably the same thing with this high, if I had to guess. Yeah, right into premium, and then got rebalanced. So anyway, like I was saying, let's mark out that premium discount window again. Dude, it would be so cool if we could get to 500 subscribers soon. Like, I know I gotta start making some more videos. I know I haven't been uploading a ton. And that's something I gotta work on. I don't know, I get burnt out really easily. I try not to be burnt out, but I do get burnt out. And that's okay. I'm trying to like remake my routine so I don't get burnt out so much. And like just focus on the essentials, like the main things being Make sure you actually show up to the charts every day. Make sure you, I mean, that's the main one, honestly. Yeah. Okay, so down to the hourly here. I really don't know what daily key level you would even use with this hourly here, so. Let's check out new day opening gaps here. This was kind of like a flow state model, and we'll look at that when we get to the lower time frame stuff, but yeah, we'll look at that later. And look at how we pop into this new week opening gap. Dude, I didn't even notice that when it happened. That's crazy. Perfectly into that new week opening gap. Yeah, I would say, like, there's not really a daily key level. Unless there was this daily, what's this daily for value gap? Or maybe, could you say this is a daily order block? This might be stupid. Let's look. I'm still trying to get better with you guys. Oh man, I don't know. Probably not. Okay, but this was obviously a key level. The hourly just kind of looks like, ooh, I know. Maybe we had a key level over here. Yeah, we had, this is kind of, it's not really perfect though. What about this? I don't know, I'm looking too hard. There's nothing there. Let's just go down the 15 minute. The obvious thing we had on the 15 minute was this 4-hour BPR aligned with 15 minute. Right, we had a, let's see, external sweep. And then we kind of had this little thing here where we swept out the bodies here. So internal. And we'll take a look at specific flow state trades in a bit on the lower time frame, and we'll go through the entire week. But yeah, and then let's measure this out. Yeah. We didn't really go retest this. We're definitely in premium of this. Anyway. I would say this would be your change state delivery, right? I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd probably say this is your change state delivery because this is where we close below this. And then, I mean, it's not the most obvious change state delivery, but actually, could you consider this change state delivery? Maybe. Actually, this kind of works, doesn't it? Yeah, you would have top ticked it. I wonder if that was also... Yeah, we had a new day opening gap here. I don't know. I don't know if that counts as change state delivery or not, so we're going to mark this out instead. And then, yeah, you could just do like I like to do, 2/3 of the way to the, either at the internal high or 2/3 of the way to the internal high, or the external high if you want, but boom, change state delivery. And then we go run down to the opposite side of the range here. And you know, trading, it's not always gonna, you're not always gonna win every time, and that's where you have to accept the odds and the probabilities, you know. So anyway, and you just have to take good trades and be consistent. But I'm starting to think like maybe my ideal RR really is like 3R or something, you know, because like I really can see these 3R trades. I just got to be able to consistently take them. Maybe just like 3R like that. So this is a 15-minute. We're not going to post this. We're just going to look at it, right? What I mean is post it in my... Actually, I could post it in my journal if I wanted to. I don't know. But yeah, we can see we tap premium here. Let's mark this out. 4 to 4.5s right here. Ooh, looking good. That's nice. That's the same one as the daily one though. But anyway, 4 to 4.5 here. And then I wonder if we had like any 2022 models here. Oh, you know what we did? I mean, look at this. Sweep, break of structure, 2022. And then break of structure, and then 2022. All right, we're gonna mark out all of those. So yeah. Oh, is my computer charging? Yeah, it is. Okay. But 2022 models are finally actually kind of starting to click for me, which is kind of cool. Okay. All right. 2022, 2022. We could even mark all of these trades out, honestly. So for this 2022, be like this. Oh, man, that's maybe get a little too much. But you get the idea. Okay. Let's just draw this out. 15-minute market maker sell model. Actually, it's so interesting because as you like look at these more and more, you start to realize the market maker sell models and the 2022 models are interconnected. The 15-minute, this is a market maker sell model, right? And then on the right-hand side of this, along the right-hand side of this, as we're moving down, we're getting all these 2022 models here, right? So it's just kind of like cool to see how they're interconnected like that. Oh, maybe. This is fine. Let's just screenshot this. You guys think I should start streaming again? I just hate losing on stream. Like, I feel so bad. Like, I don't want to lose. But then again, like, I'm being honest. I'm being real with you guys. I'm saying, hey, like, I'm kind of break even right now, and that's fine. You know, I'm just still working on myself right now. And if you guys want to watch me stream, I can, you know, but. Okay, let's get rid of everything, and now we're going to go throughout the week. Now that we've done basically all the higher time frame analysis, honestly, I know I didn't need to do that, but I wanted to anyway. I just kind of felt like it'd be productive. But now that we've done all that, let's go ahead and specifically start journaling. So the setups that I've been taking as of lately, so now I've been pretty much switched over to flow state, but I will still take an IFG if we get it, right? So flow state is kind of like my main right now. And then, yeah, I'll still take IFGs. And those are my main two. That's pretty much it. But I'm liking the 2022 models a lot more now that I'm understanding them better, and I'm noticing them a lot more, especially with the silver bullet. I'm gonna make a video on it in a bit, but I'm really starting to like the 2022 models more. But yeah, I'm definitely like loving flow state, so it's just my style completely. So with all that in mind, let's go through the week and look at all the possible trades you could have taken. So, let's start with today, right? So today, let's go down and look at market open. So market open happened. Unfortunately, I didn't get up this morning to trade, so I didn't take a trade today, but I should have, dude. That's one of my biggest issues is like showing up. Like, I feel like, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I got work to do, but you get the idea. I gotta keep putting in the work, keep showing up, and that's gonna make the difference, right? That's gonna turn into consistent profitability once I can become the person I'm supposed to be, you know? It's just gonna take some time, but and I'm almost there, you know? I've gotten like, I think 5 payouts now, but like still struggling with consistency, so yeah, still working on it. Okay, like I was saying, let's pop down the lower time frame chart and look at all the possible trades we could have taken. So market open happens at 9:30 here. So first thing I want to look at is, did silver bullet work? So I'm gonna make a video on silver bullet. But I'm loving silver bullet now that I actually understand it. It's so nice. I mean, now it's my own kind of like version of it. Like, I know other people say like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do for silver bullet, and this is what you're supposed to do for silver bullet. Here's what I say you should do, and I've noticed it because I've been backtesting it, right? Silver bullet, at that, like, it is your 2022 model where you get a sweep, break of structure, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it's the 2022 model starting at specifically after 10 a.m. So instead of overcomplicating it, since we're already probably going to have made a sell model by 10 a.m., we're going to be already delivering to where we want to go. I think I'm pretty sure Ice-T said this, but I can't say for sure, but I am going to make a video on this because I think it's interesting. I literally think you can just buy the first 1 minute fair value gap that forms after 10 a.m. with your stop loss above the intermediate swing high and like target 2 or 3 R, or I think, yeah. And that, I think that's a profitable model. I'm like 75% sure. I could, but I'm gonna probably make a video on it because I've been looking at it and it's been working, right? But yeah, essentially that's what it is it's taking a fair value gap that forms, the first fair value gap that forms after 10. Now, technically I was going to say this one worked, but actually this fair value gap forms at 950, so this isn't quite silver bullet yet. But it's still a 2022 model because we get I wonder if we swept out any specific time-based liquidity or anything like that. Sweep London's lows. See, that might get kind of confusing because you're like, oh, we swept out London's lows. This is a buy model, but then we don't. So how would you catch that, right? Sweep one side, sweep the other side. Man, it was really tricky today, huh? You know what I want to look at, though? I want to pull this back up. If it's going to load, we'll see. Move it up to. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm talking about with the sell models and the 2022 models forming around these levels, right? So these are mathematical dealing ranges, and the sell models and buy models will form around the highs and the lows, right? So you would know this would be more likely to be a sell model here, not a buy model, because we're on the edge of this dealing range here, this math dealing range. So we sweep out this high. This is where these dealing ranges are really nice. And then, so external sweep. So this is the first trade we're going to mark out. Sweep. I don't think we actually get a break of structure, do we? On the 2 minute, we do. But on the 1 minute. See, here's the thing. We actually don't really get a clear break of structure here. Even this isn't really a clear break of structure, and neither is this. So this whole entire move up, even though we swept London, there's no break of structure, right? Actually, we didn't even sweep London yet here. Eventually we do. We sweep it here. But still, no break of structure to the upside, and then dumps. So the key with 2022 model really is the break of structure, because this whole entire time, we don't even get break of structure at all, the entire time. That really is the key, honestly. There's like, it was so hard for me to understand that for the longest time. I'm finally getting it. So we'll mark out the silver bullet later. Let's start with this first 2022 entry here. So external sweep. Actually, let's mark out first that we didn't have a break of structure here, so this isn't valid. So we're just gonna show that off real quick. External sweep. There's also internal sweep here. And also, we never actually took London, so it'd be kind of scary. But yeah, no break of structure here. And it was also pre-market open. This is my notes from the pre-market. As far as IFGs, right? I think Dodgy said like there was a good one in here somewhere. I'm gonna save this. No. Okay. Back to what I was talking about. So we get a sweep of this, a sweep of this. This inverses, but we wick above the internal high. So this is not really valid. Now what about 2 minute, right? 2 minute wicks above the internal high as well. What about the 1 minute, right? 1 minute wicks above the internal high as well. So none of this is valid here, right? We end up getting a sweep and then an inversion here, but I mean, you could take this. Like, you could. I'm probably not even going to record it in my notes, though, because I really probably wouldn't take it with this gap here. And as well, I mean, it's an external gap on the higher time frame, right? Yeah, I would never take that with that 5 minute not closing, so. And plus, I'm just trying to stay away from the 1 minute as well. Okay. Let's see here. Now let's mark out this 2022 model. This one's pretty obvious, where we sweep out all these highs. Do we have any? Oh, man, it's not really an obvious break of structure though, is the thing. I don't know. We'll still mark it out, but I'm not gonna. Actually, if I wouldn't take it, I'm not gonna mark it out. But maybe you could take this for a buy up here. Okay. At this point, let's go to the 5 minute. We have a really nice 5 minute BPR here, but we also have a 5 minute BPR here. I think this is a day where you just have to know the draw on liquidity. Oh, you know what? Let's see if there was SMT. Lower high. Oh yeah, look at that. Here's a lower high on the S&P, higher high on NASDAQ. And then we're within this. Okay, this would have been nice actually. We're within this 15-minute fair value gap. Let's see, 15-minute fair value gap. And then what's in line with the 15-minute? The 1 minute, right? So, we sweep, we sweep. So this would have been a good trade. And then internal sweep here. And then theoretically, you could have taken this 1 minute change of state delivery right here. Because that's the 1 minute change of state delivery, right? But this would need to, since this would be such a small stop loss, you might as well have it like a little higher, right? Or maybe you'd want to wait for a more obvious change to state delivery. Oh, I wonder if this is more like an hour fair value gap, an hourly fair value gap. Yeah, definitely more of an hourly fair value gap than a 15-minute one. So you'd probably use this as an hourly fair value gap. And then I'd probably want to see more obvious change state delivery than that. Probably go with so we get change state delivery here and here, and all of these are change state deliveries. So I wouldn't take these because I don't know, it's just not obvious enough, right? So you just gotta be super, super patient. Like the RR on this would suck. Now this would be fine. Maybe you could take it like this with your stop loss above the high. You could take it like this, and this would have worked out fine, right? So this will be the first flow state trade. Here we have external, internal. We don't even need to have this SMT marked. So here's that 1 hour for value gap. And then here's that 5-minute change state delivery. You could, there's this one too, but I don't know, it's just, I'd rather get better RR if I'm gonna take this. So, probably enter on this. And this is where just like, you have to understand, like when this is happening, you just have to be calm, collected, and be okay if it hits your stop loss, because like, sometimes that's gonna happen. You could even target these lows here. Be 2 to 1. So this was a flow state. Now, maybe you use this one. Actually, technically, that's the change state delivery, right? Yeah, that's a much better trade. So I think most of the time you just want to, like, as long as it's decent, you want to use the one that's decent, and then just put your stop above the high. All right, boom. Okay. And you could target these equal lows, and that'd be 3 to 1. Man, that's cool. I'd probably target these equal bodies here. That's crazy. That's 3 to 1 right there. Boom. That's why we backtest. Text 32. One hour for value gap to 5-minute CSD. there you go. Let's screenshot that. This was at 7:20, pretty early, so I don't know if we'd get anything. $7.20 flow state. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at some more. That one was pretty nice. Like, you could have taken this change state delivery too, but your RR would just be a lot worse. And if you're fine with that, then that's fine, I guess. And then same thing, you could have taken this one as well, but once again, your RR is going to be terrible. So just like, how good of RR do you want? This is a lot better RR, so yeah. All right, next up, I'm curious. We got a BPR that formed here after sweeping out. Wonder if we even had an SMT. I bet you we probably had some kind of fake out SMT here. We literally did too. Wow, these fake out SMTs happen a lot, huh? This probably happened at a key level too. This would have been very misleading. I'd probably messed this up. So let's figure out why this happened and how you could have avoided it. I think the key level with this SMT was this hourly gap. Yeah. So a lot of people probably got faked out on this, where we had this 1 hour for value gap. And then after having this 1 hour for value gap on the lower time frame, we get SMT, and it looks like, oh wow, we're gonna respect it. Yeah, this honestly looks pretty good, right? This 5-minute IPG looks pretty good because we're delivering from a fair value gap. This inverses, and then you just get wrecked. And I do think this is a good setup, but it did not work. I think this comes down to bias, honestly. Right? So let's mark this out. So we're going to figure out why this failed. Because you do see all this like range of highs here, right? I think the main reason this failed is because the higher time frame was bearish. So if I go to the higher time frame, this is why it's so valuable to trade with the trend. It's just hard to go against it. Yeah, this is why I always do higher time frame analysis. So we're just gonna put this. might stop streaming and I might just journal by myself in just a bit, because yeah, I'm just kind of feeling like it. But I do think this would be a break-even trade, regardless of if you go break-even here or here. Both would give you break-even. We'll just say we went break-even here. So we'll just say that was our break-even spot, and then we get break-even right after, and that's fine. So why did this fail with the SMT and the 1 hour for value gap? Because there's a higher time frame order flow that was bearish. So it's so important to have a higher time frame. We're just gonna screenshot this real quick. And let's look at stat map. Yeah, so we were at the daily manipulation level too, so it really probably looked like we were gonna go pump here. One thing that I like to know is if you are ever at the daily manipulation level from yesterday, a lot of time that's good enough and you'll continue lower. But it honestly does look like we're gonna manipulate and then distribute, huh? Because we're also at a daily order block. Actually, let's screenshot this first and then we'll come back to that. I gotta use the bathroom in just a second. And then I might end the stream and might just study on my own for a bit. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream. We will talk more later, and maybe I'll start streaming again eventually. Once I'm